5, 4, 3, 2. Start. Really, in the grand scheme of things, if it does a countdown from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, does it need to then say start? Because then that would be, start should be 1. Because 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, start is 0. So that makes no sense.
It's one of the many mysteries we explore in depth during this podcast.
Right?
Yeah.
Because that could be confusing.
You're too much already.
We just started.
Yeah, that's all, I need a drink already.
Welcome to the show. As you can see, Ava looks a little different today.
Yep.
It's
a lot of testosterone.
It's the next generation of Ava over here. Goes by the name of Christian.
Hello, the world. It is me, the unfortunate offspring.
Unfortunate?
Yeah, well, sometimes I think that.
Not even gonna. The doctor is in. We'll have a conversation about that later. That's I don't know. I'm not going to touch that one. Obviously, the lovely and talented Dr. Susan Amorose.
Hi, everybody. Thank you.
And the
Scott.
equally lovely and equally talented Pinky Lee. Erica McElroy.
Hi, everyone.
Today's topic, we really wanted to continue the movie topic that we had last week on the boat.
That was so much
It
fun.
was. Sorry
if
for those of you
who haven't listened to it, please
listen
go
carefully,
to YouTube.
because watch it on the YouTube one. The sound is better on the YouTube one than the Facebook one. But we'll do that again and fix the microphones. Hopefully the microphones are working better on the Facebook side today. Definitely working better on the YouTube side.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to delve into something that is right in Miss Erica's wheelhouse.
Oh.
What is that?
I wouldn't actually say it like that, Scott. I mentioned that trademarks, patents, and what was the other thing?
Copyrights.
Copyrights was something I did know about a little bit. Like you said, knowing a little bit about a lot of things can be a dangerous thing. But what I know about patents, my father, who was just such a person who loved to be, he self-studied everything. He actually was an inventor.
Ah.
Yes, he invented all kinds of things. He was one of those guys, like I would come in from high school or middle school, and he'd do like smoke coming out. Like, what are you doing, Dad? He was a fixture of all the kids when my kids were growing up too. Like, what's Grandpa Bert doing?
How cool.
So he had a lot of patents.
Did he anything we know of?
No.
Well, like, what's the neatest thing that you know that he put a patent in for?
Well, he had a patent on it was a wastewater treatment system using microwaves. And he was a plumber by trade.
Okay.
So he was brilliant. He had like 160 IQ, but he never went to college. So he taught himself so much.
Sometimes that's better.
Yes, he was an amazing person. It's just so interesting. But the one thing that was really an incredible invention was he had used microwave technology to deal with sewage, and people were fascinated. Like he was flown around the world to different factories and places, and people were so excited about it. But it just never, like a lot of great inventors, he never got it off the ground. And but up until his very last day, almost, he lived till 85. He passed away in 2018.
Wow.
Every morning he would stay we had a place for my parents to stay. He would walk by and he would say, "Oh, it's a great day to save the world."
What an optimistic, great. That's the way to look at it.
Yes, he was amazing. But he taught me a lot about patents and how he was so thrilled to have a patent. And it was just the best thing for him to show me that and what it took to get it, and that how you had protection for 17 years. The laws have changed since, but it was a big part of his journey.
Very cool. Now, Christian, you are the one that came up with this lovely topic.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I'm thinking more patents in the creative atmosphere.
They would be called copyrights.
Oh, no. There are patents in the creative atmosphere, not copyrights.
Okay. I explain.
Well, recently, this has been happening since, I want to say 2014.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of, I don't think this is the crowd here, but a lot of video game companies, developers like that, like the big studios, like Warner Brothers was the first in 2014, that they patent a system in one of their games. It's a Lord of the Rings game, where the enemies you killed actually remember that you killed them, and you can make stories with them, and they know you, and they become almost like real people.
But they're dead.
but they come back. They're orcs first off.
Okay.
Well, so they can
Do
do
orcs
anything.
come back to life? I didn't think orcs come back.
Sometimes they do. They can tinker. They can tinker and become Frankenstein. But anyway, more recently.
Wait, then how do orcs? We need to get more
Well, I'm
details
not
on the
Tolkien,
orcs
so-
coming back to life. I don't think orcs can. They can create orcs out of like raw material and stuff.
Yeah.
But are they the same orcs that are being regenerated?
This is like the ship of Theseus. Almost.
Do orcs? Are they being reincarnated? The same orcs over the souls of orcs, or
Well, I mean, in the game, they're because
not to be divergent in the topic, but this is.
I've never heard of orcs. I've heard of
Orcs are like the zombie
Like
killer
ogres.
things, ogres that come and kill. You've seen one of the Lord of the Rings movies, right?
I
like-
dabbled.
All the evil guys that have like white pasty skin, those are orcs.
Oh, okay.
yeah. But anyway,
Just to
okay, to get off the orc topic, the more interesting topic.
finish.
Okay, well, so there's magic in the Lord of the Rings universe, and sometimes there's like necromancers who bring back orcs or stuff. They get
Oh.
chopped up.
Eric and I.
Interesting, yes. I'll write that
And
down,
you
Mike.
thought we were just gonna.
I'm
You
making-
thought we were just having a conversation
I'm
on
making
patent copyrights and. Yeah.
Some of the orcs are smart, and they have like actual like machine workers that they will make like cyborg almost orcs is the best way I can describe it.
Okay.
Sometimes they'll just go crazy and they'll like have a cult and they'll start a cult, be Charles Manson almost. But anyway, the more important topic is getting off orcs, going with patents. Recently, Nintendo. I'm assuming we're all familiar with Nintendo. They just released a patent on the idea of catching and releasing monsters or some kind of creature to fight another creature. Right. So they got
Pokemon.
Yes.
I mean, there was Pokemon hunting thing where you would like walk around in real time and like catch a Pokemon.
yeah, Pokemon Go. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So that idea of Pokemon,
That kind of thing.
basically think of Pokemon.
Yeah.
They have now released a patent that says nobody else can do this but us.
Nobody else can do what?
Make a game or some kind of mechanic that involves catching and releasing a monster to fight.
But wasn't that Pokemon catching Pokemon? It wasn't.
Well, that's Nintendo.
Didn't they patent that?
No,
They didn't.
No.
They didn't patent catching Pokemon walking around the street.
I think they.
How would they not? That would be part of the thing.
I think
Christian, I have a question.
Yes.
And I'm thinking maybe some of the lay audience may.
Some of the Facebook people have questions. Yeah.
Oh, there are
I'm
lots of
representing.
questions.
This patent, then, it's at least twofold in its rudimentary structure. So it's covering the concept,
Yeah.
and it's covering, as you said, the mechanism, the tech from that's making it happen.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Exactly. Yeah. So that, in my opinion, very bad because I think that
That impacts every creative industry.
exactly it affects so much of the creativeness of like, well, now what can I do? And then it also, so many games since Pokemon, because I think Pokemon was in the 80s, 90s, or something like that.
Well, I know, but I'm talking about the more recent one where you were on your little thing walking around the street and there's a Pokemon and there's a,
Yeah.
that wasn't the 80s.
But Pokemon's been around more than.
I understand
Well,
that.
can you explain the bigger implication of this? Because I'm trying to get to that. So you're saying that
Basically, because Nintendo has this patent now, in the future, let's say you want to make a game, right? And you're like, well, I want to make something that you catch, let's say a carrot. You catch carrots.
a bunny is
Yeah,
going through the
bunnies. You
garden.
catch bunnies in cages.
That's probably what I would use bunnies to get carrots.
You
Okay.
catch bunnies in cages and you release them to go get carrots.
I like that.
Because of this new patent, it would be very, very difficult to actually do that without raising the eye of Big Brother Nintendo saying, oh, no, we own this patent that says you can't do that because it's too similar to our mechanic.
Oh, how
Now-
could they even get a patent like that?
Money.
Having put trademarks in and knowing how specific they are when they're reviewing trademarks on the details of what is actually written, what they allow, and everything else. Class, the class that you have to put in, the backup wording, all the little categories and everything else. I would assume patents are even more stringent than trademarks in terms of the mechanism of things working.
Yes.
That if it's for monsters, then bunnies are excluded, because unless you think bunnies are monsters,
bunnies can be monsters.
Well, if we're talking about the were-rabbit and Wallace and Gromit, of course.
Well, a lot of
other than
Pokemon
that-
are just bunnies or just simple monsters or simple animals like that. My problem is it just limits the creativity of everybody.
But I really do think that's going to be great for patent attorneys, because they're going to really challenge this. There's just no way that's sustainable.
It doesn't say carrots.
It's
It
not
doesn't say carrots. It
sustainable.
doesn't
It's
say
silly.
bunnies.
It's silly. It's not sustainable. Maybe the specific thing that they created is their patent, but
Yeah.
this bigger idea is just not going to be sustainable. They have so many challenges to that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, because I think when you sue Nintendo or when someone has something to do against Nintendo, I think they base it off of Japanese court and not American court.
No, each country has its own copyright and trademark rules.
I can see it more the other way around. I could see like somebody coming up with ideas and then Nintendo suing them because because I've let the bunnies out of the cage.
That is exactly why they're making this patent.
Yeah.
Because there's another game that released, I want to say 2 years ago now, called Pal World.
Called what?
Pal World.
Pal?
Yeah, Pal.
P-A-L, like
P-A-L,
my pal?
Yes, your pal.
Okay.
Pal World. Essentially, think Pokemon, but you can now have Pokemon hold guns, and they're like, you can make them do slave labor. That's essentially the game.
Ooh.
We need to bring those bunnies in.
Pokemon slaves.
And
Slave
what-
Pokemon.
Those bunnies are carrying those carrots, and that's just
So-
right.
There's deviations, right, to what you can do. They probably have a whole history of patents related to this that they have to look up in the patent books, like what's the precedent of this and what are the implications. So this is going to be really fun for patent law.
Nintendo is
Really
just
fun.
Yeah.
Describe that.
Yeah, right.
Well, really fun for patent attorneys is
Yes,
billable hours, I think, is what
You're gonna have a good
that
old
equate
time out there,
fun
patent attorneys.
billable hours. That's what's fun.
Got you.
The history of Nintendo, though, is they are a horrible company to people.
Oh.
No, because they will. It's almost like Disney back in the day, where there was a story where this young kid died, and he really loved Spider-Man, and they put Spider-Man on the grave, and then Disney was like, "Oh, you can't do that because it's ruining the reputation
Whoa.
of the character." So
Really?
yeah, they sued the family for putting
Whoa.
Spider-Man on the grave, and they got
Well, that's not a long time ago then, because Disney didn't own the rights to
it must have been-
Spider-Man. Has only been in the past.
I think it was maybe 5.
Yeah, it's only
10
been in the
years ago,
past
something like that.
5-10 years.
But yeah, Nintendo.
Well, how does it work with Halloween costumes?
I don't know.
They're
I think it's-
licensed.
Yeah, it's a
They're
license.
Okay, so when you buy a Halloween costume, you're
Disney's getting a cut.
oh jeez.
No,
Yeah.
But
Oh,
that's
What if you make your own? What
If you make your own, well, as long as see now you get
call
it.
it
See if
Spider-Man.
you would, because I guess if nobody turned you in, but see now with everybody having a camera phone on their phone, then they could post it on Facebook, and then Disney might see it because then you're posting it in the public domain.
But if someone has like a homemade costume and they don't have a lot of money to go out and buy a costume, and they create a beautiful thing, and they I guess they just can't be called Spider-Man. They have to be called like something else.
Man Spider.
As long as it's called something else,
Mhm.
then I guess it's okay. But there's all these little nuances.
Anthropod.
Spider-Man with a Y
Yeah.
Anthroboy.
around it.
Anthroboy. Well, and it depends on how good the costume. Because are we comparing the costume to like the Tobey Maguire original Spider-Man costume that he first made when he went into the,
Sure.
is that
Right,
the
because
costume? Because he made his own. So
I
you
love
know,
that.
Yeah, Toby did.
yeah.
Mhm.
Toby was like, I brought my own suit from home.
Right.
And they're like, why'd you do that, Toby?
Mhm.
My God. But no,
Yeah.
I just think patents in more of the creative sphere and copyright, it's, as a creative myself, It is a really, Christian. How are you creative? What do you do?
Tell us what you
Do
do.
tell. What's creative about you?
I'm a photographer by trade. I'm a
Well, that's by
musician.
trade.
Yeah.
Okay, buddy.
No, I'm a photographer by trade. I'm a musician and a hobbyist, and I also do a little bit of like 3D design and like game development. That's like recent, of like 2 weeks ago.
I was going to say recent as in how long ago, because
Yeah.
I live with you, and when is that happening?
But we
So-
don't talk very much. There's a good floor between us.
I will say though, I had the opportunity to stop by your parents' house for a lovely dinner. Thank
Yeah.
you. And met all your nice friends. And I did have an
They're
opportunity.
your friends too.
Yeah, some of them I made
Goof.
but I made some new friends.
Oh, good.
And they were just a wonderful group. But I had the opportunity, and your dad was very proud to show off your beautiful photography.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
it was
you.
very
Thank you.
nice. I was very impressed.
Thank you. I try.
The descent into Christian photos.
It's a great thing. Yeah.
I will say though, doing some writing and just
Mhm.
having fun with that in my life and writing just some self-published books. Copywriting is interesting because when you write something, you really do own it. I
Yeah.
mean, you're supposed to get a copyright so
Mhm.
that you protect yourself. But if somebody tried to knock off what you wrote or tried to knock off your title or anything like that, even if you actually don't have a registered copyright, you would have some defense because if you could prove that you were the one who had the original
Yeah.
work, and that itself is like sort of an organic copyright. But
Mhm.
then it's always good. Same with trademark. Trademarking is so complex. Sometimes it's better just to create it and have it. And if you have to use it,
Yeah.
you have to use it. People have to see it. And then, but then again, if somebody makes what you had and you don't have it protected, that becomes a whole other game for the attorneys. I am not a copyright or trademark attorney, just so everyone knows, this is not professional advice. I am an attorney, but not for those
Spoken like an attorney.
categories.
Yeah.
But I will say that it's a very complex and intricate area of the law. In fact, one of the few places they would call lawyers and
A
experts,
specialist.
thank you,
Yeah.
would be patent law.
Yeah.
It would be one. How did you know that?
Because we have a trademark attorney because some giant multinational got on our case for Esspa when we filed our
Oh,
trademark for Esspa.
really?
Yeah. And out of the blue, this giant monster company
Whoa.
from England showed up.
Whoa.
And they're Esspa. They're missing an S. They're not.
Geez.
Yeah.
So you had to get
Now-
your trademark.
Here's the thing. We had been using our trademark long before they were ever in this country. They were in England. So we actually won that
Congratulations. That's
against the
not
big
easy.
giant multinational.
Sort
And
of.
it changes from state to state.
Yes.
So
yes.
yeah, like they filed it in Miami because they don't have any operations in Pennsylvania. So we're like, we're not in Florida, so it doesn't affect. So and apparently, trademark law in Florida is much more to whoever files first versus, and that also is a new thing with trademarks that they have revised it recently. And when recently, I say within like the last 15, 20 years, in terms of it used to be whoever filed the trademark first got preference. Now,
Mhm.
if you can show even if you used it before the trademark was filed, they give precedence to whoever used it in real life.
Interesting.
Used it. So using it in real life
Yes.
is key.
But you still have to file
But
it.
you have to file too. But you have to use it.
Yes.
It's very important.
You can't enforce the fact that you used it before somebody else if you never filed it. But if you filed it, let's say you
I'm not
started
sure.
using your trademark in 2000 and didn't file for ownership of that trademark protection until 2010. Somebody filed their trademark for the same mark in 2005.
Yeah.
You would win because you started using it 5 years before they did it.
That sounds good. I'm just going to make a disclaimer. None of us are experts.
I do
legal
play one on
experts
television.
on any of these things. So this is just ideas floating around.
Or in real life on how things work. But
I don't know much about it, but I do think it's probably
she's
a good
such
idea.
a worrywart.
You have to check with your attorney who's a specialist in these things if you want to create something that's protected.
Shout out to the Webb Law Firm. They're very good at this. This is what
Oh,
they do.
yes. Yes, I love the
Yeah,
web law
John
firm.
McElvain.
Yes, I
Great
do
guy.
know them. Wonderful.
Dr. Susan's been very quiet over there. What are your thoughts
Not an expert.
on orcs or otherwise?
Love. Um,
Carrots, Wallace and Gromit.
Bunnies.
well, it's really interesting because I get the benefit of being the elder in the room here. However, Scott, you and I especially have a lot of overlaps in terms of pop culture and many of our memories. And Erica, surprisingly, although so young, you know a lot of our references
Not
very,
that young.
very,
You do.
very
She does
well.
get our references.
Yeah. But when I think about it and I think of video games,
Yeah.
because our generation,
We're Atari people.
Atari,
Pong.
Pong, and taking over the maybe one of two televisions in a home. If you were lucky, it could have been just one. And
Because you got to like
you had
move
to
the whole
plug-
thing and plug
you
them
had to
in.
plug it in, and but it's interesting to have been in the ground floor. And I have a dear friend who was in the industry at that time, and be interesting. I'd like to talk him into being
Like
part
the
of
gaming industry,
this. Mm-hmm.
video gaming industry.
Mm-hmm.
But if you think about Nintendo, I mean, even like the little Nintendo football game,
Yeah.
right? With the
Yes.
Oh, I
right?
love that. I actually played that.
Yeah, we all had that.
Yeah.
At Shady Side
Yeah.
in Row Hall,
Yes,
we're all
yes.
sitting there
Mhm.
playing
Yeah.
the little things in the
Yes.
80s,
Mhm.
and that was
Yeah.
Nintendo.
Talking about the Game
Yeah.
Boy, or
Yeah.
It was the
was-
precursor.
Mhm.
And
All
so
it did was football, but
Mhm.
it did football. It had a little green
Mhm.
LED. It's like a linear Pong. You could make the football go up one space, down one space, and then there were other
it was a commitment.
there were other green lines which were the
Wasn't it?
defenders
Commitment.
coming this way, and you had to negotiate to get around them, and you would gain your.
this is like watching a caveman kind of explain how to make fire.
Caveman lawyer. Frozen caveman
It
lawyer.
was fun. I had one.
It just to maybe round out what I was saying, and then I'll be quiet again and listen and learn. Truly. But I think about that era and that time, and we were unable to project to how big
Yeah.
this was going to be and how significant many categories of impact it would take,
Mhm.
both in the East and the West.
Yeah.
And I'm very familiar with the impacts, negative and positive, it's had in both hemispheres in terms of youth, also adults. So I have a lot, I guess, to think about gaming in general
Yeah.
and the way by which our minds are wired, by the influence of such. It's not all bad. At
It's a
the-
giant time suck. I have
at
this
the-
stupid Royal
we talk-
Kingdom thing
you and I
on that phone,
you and
and
I
it
talk
sucks.
about this.
It sucks time out of my life.
I so understand.
Or is it a relaxer?
Is
It's
that
both.
true? I mean,
It's-
a little-
it's-
a little
it's an
detachment,
escape.
but it is
It
like
is relaxing.
Yeah.
It's an escape. But if you
I
think
think so.
about your platforms and you think about how they've evolved and they connect people in ways that they never have before. So our generation tends to think of it as a solitary pursuit.
Very
Your
much.
generation,
Yes.
it is a
oh
global.
no, they're teams. That
Yes,
stupid little
it's a
Royal
global
Kingdom thing. It's got little
sport.
teams on
It's
there,
highly
and
competitive.
they kicked
Yeah.
us out of
And-
the team. Ava and I were on the same team,
Wow.
and they kicked us off the team.
Why?
I don't know. They didn't like Ava, and they just kicked me off because
You
I was
have
there.
to start your own
Oh my
team.
Yeah, just start your own.
We
We're,
joined
we're
another
here
one.
for you.
We joined another team.
Well, you can recruit.
I have the current high score in my home for Miss Pac-Man.
Look at you.
We have a table. Miss
Yeah, the little
Pac-Man.
cocktail table. Yeah,
I mean, we just got it. So
Mm.
my husband actually got that for my birthday this year in
good
February
thing.
because it's like my favorite game, and I've always wanted Miss Pac-Man. So I have the table, and I have the high score in the family.
Very good.
Things like
Everybody.
I'm proud of
24
you.
24,000 or something.
Yeah.
It's a little over. But
Well,
but
how many levels
I
of
get to the
screens?
third one. So
The
there's
third one?
first one
Okay,
they
you need
need.
to be quiet now because that's not that good.
The second one is
It's brand new.
the first one they meet. The second one's a chase,
Mm-hmm.
and then the third one's orange.
Yeah,
I
there's
know-
cherries, bananas, peaches.
Oh, I get all
all-
of those.
all the-
I get all the cherries, bananas, and peaches. I get to the orange level, and then I never have gotten past the orange level. Have
Okay.
you gotten past the orange level?
Maybe in another time.
Well, what
When
was
I-
that? What's after? Is there a life after orange?
I used to mean, you go to Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras is over in Shadyside is the one that had the original like cocktail table Pac-Man. So if you're there at 2 a.m,
Really?
you have nothing else to do except play cocktail table Pac-Man.
Wow, I'm coming.
Yeah, I don't know if it's there anymore.
That is so much fun. This is Miss Pac-Man. This is Miss Pac-Man?
I think Miss Pac-Man is the only one that was made into a cocktail table.
Okay, yes.
I don't think the regular Pac-Man was.
Oh, okay. Interesting. That's very interesting. I'd have to like research the
Research
meaning of that. Like
I'm just taking it in. I'm taking it in.
But you know,
No
that's
judgment.
on trademarks and patents on it's like think about pinball machines.
Oh.
On the patent on a pinball machine, you have patents and trademarks on pinball machines, maybe copyrights too on new pinball machines because you're incorporating the newest pinball machines they're not just I mean they do have the physical ball going around, so there's a physical thing that you have to work out the parameters of literally physics of the ball doing this and that, but it's all computers with doing all this other stuff, and it gets whirly whirls and balls pop out of all over the place. And the best ones are usually tied into movies. Like I'm sure they're making one. There were one of the more recent ones was Godzilla, it's like a $40,000 machine. It's crazy. This machine is nonstop. But they play clips from the movie.
Oh,
So
wow.
obviously there's copyright stuff that's going with there. Somebody's getting royalties on that. Wow. Somebody's trademarked the actual patent, putting together this machine that has different layers and how it works with that and flippers and all the other stuff.
I tend to see this just only at a macro level because I'm not really plugged into that scene as much, but it makes me nostalgic for what we would call the simpler times because it was the Wild West. And, you know, you can go to school and be friends with somebody who starts a company and, you know, in an industry that all the friends were scratching their heads saying,
What is it?
You're kind of brilliant. You're going to do what? It was
What aren't they
it
doing
was
that
a bit
now,
of a
too?
risk. No,
They're
but
not?
well, retired out. But at the end,
Who retired out?
at the end of the day, they in terms of you mean just
No, I mean
people in general?
No, I mean kids. Aren't they the same? Aren't kids the same way, coming up with new wild things where the rest of kids are like, "You're going to do what?"
I
and
think
all that?
that's always the
Well, yeah,
case. I think it's always the case, but with something that's new. That was new.
Yeah.
It was new. And now it's ubiquitous and we can't imagine a world without it. But I guess my point of view is that as we get more refined, sophisticated, and bigger and globalized, we become more passive as users and as makers because we have to yield to so many parameters and restrictions and standards are created and policy, which takes us back to law, right? And law should always be a reflection of our values. Otherwise, why do we even have laws? And that's incredibly human, just the concept of what is right and what is wrong, but what is mine and what is yours. And I hate to get all philosophical, but really that thread that it is, I own this, but truly in any arena, you know, it's usually a connection to either it's some form of value that it is producing. And I'd love to know, Christian, from your perspective as somebody in their 20s and newly graduated,
just starting life.
How do you relate to it as an established and professional creative? How does it make you feel?
Way to drop the entire weight of the world on my shoulders here. No,
My job is to ask the hard questions, not answer them.
It is.
Wait. She has to follow that up with I'm listening.
I'm listening.
It is a. I don't even know how to describe it. It's an unknown excitement, like a mix of fear and excitement, I would say. Because you have all these great ideas, and it kind of goes into the rise of AI and the use
Right.
of AI and more creative source, I have very strong opinions about. But
do tell.
well, I think it just should be outlawed, like indefinitely. Anyway,
Like all of it, in just period.
well, I think there's a cutoff point. Like when you get the more generative AI, when you're like, oh, make a cat eating a banana. Find a cat and make it eat a banana. Don't be lazy. Go out and do it. But
See, that's an example of value.
yeah, because I mean, once you start making like AI is basically like, oh, you can make everything. But if you can make everything, then everything's like worthless and meaningless at that point. Isn't I mean,
I see what you're saying.
yeah,
No, because not everyone is making everything.
but they could.
But they could if they put the time and effort into learning how to do it. They can't just go to Starbucks and make a cat eating a banana.
You go to
Starbucks, if you make the next latte that's called the cat eating a banana
I
latte,
like it.
I'm coming after you because I've used it right here.
Oh, you're gonna sue them for copyright.
That's right.
should make a patent. Yeah, make a patent on that.
Trademark.
Cat banana latte trademark.
But yeah, I mean, as a creative going to the new world, this AI and just just the huge past of patent and copyrights, it is like a little like, oh my god, like you think, what can I come up with now? Because there's been the whole history of the world. I just got here essentially. What idea do I have? And yet every day, every minute of every day, somebody's coming up with a new idea. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I don't think anything's new anymore. I think everything is just almost like a blender.
Somebody probably said that
Oh, interesting.
yesterday,
Yeah.
last week,
Yeah.
100 years ago,
They'll say it
1,000 years
Yeah.
ago, 2,000 years ago.
Mhm.
Everything's been done. That pyramid looks the same as that one. Rah, you idiot. So
I still think there's always something new every day. I do think people are constantly coming up with new things. It might be taken from other things, but when there's a new spin, it is new. Like the other day, I heard a new word, a new concept called glow up. Have you heard of glow up?
Yes.
Glow up, yeah.
Glow up.
Yeah.
You've heard of it? Okay,
Mhm.
so it's new to me. Do you know what glow up
I've
is?
heard it, but explain it.
I don't even know if I can, but it's something to do with making yourself look your best and feel your best, self care. But like to the nth degree.
It's like
so.
red up, to use a Pittsburgh term. I'm going to red. You're not familiar with the term red up?
I've heard it.
It's a very
Okay,
Pittsburgh thing.
Okay, so tell
I'm
us what
gonna
red
go.
up is.
You're gonna clean up your room. You're gonna
Yeah,
clean up.
red
You're gonna red up this place.
Well, glow up is next level. Next level to red up. So what do you think, Susan? How would you describe glow up? Because I thought that was a really cool term. We have a book club here.
It's a makeover in essence
Yeah.
of your entire being as much as possible, inside and out, and it has an
Yes.
outward projection, which makes you radiate,
Yes.
lightens you, right?
Like a glow.
Like
Gives
a
you a glow.
But the difference is it's the inside and the outside.
Inside.
It's
Sure.
not just the outside.
Radiance
It's
from
the
within.
whole thing is the glow up. So that I had never heard that before, and I really liked it. We have a book club at Green Heiress. I'm just going to give a little.
Yeah.
So it's this Friday, and we're having a quarterly book club. Book club is one of my favorite things at Green Heiress because we talk about all these kind of ideas. We're not live. We're not showing anybody else. It's just amongst ourselves. But it's a great way
I
that
could
we
be in a corner talking about their book club.
But we just established our community that way. So the book we're reading is The Mountain Is You. And somehow, some way, the term glow up showed up when I was looking.
Is it in the book?
I don't even think it's in the book. I don't know.
don't
Somehow
recall
it
it.
connected when I was researching the author and the book. It was like to have a glow up, and that's to just become the best of who yourself could be, the best version of yourself.
That's well
Well,
put.
this is a time-honored thing. This is just a new term to describe
term.
something that has always been around.
Well, what else is a glow up? Well, how else would you said red up, but that's not the same as
I
glow
know, I was
up.
teasing. I was
So
just using a
what would
Pittsburghese type of
actually
thing.
be
But in terms
like a
of
glow up?
there have been, all throughout history, the whole idea of a I mean, the Omni at Bedford Springs the whole healing waters thing is those from hundreds of years, and even if you go back to thousands of years ago with the hot water springs and stuff like that, is all about purification and
Renewal.
renewing yourself and
Reset.
and doing all of these things to fix yourself inner and outer and to face the world.
But there's now a term for it, and there's
I'm
no
sure they had a
twist.
term for it too.
But we have a
It's
new
probably
term.
patented. And
I'd have to send money to somebody in order if I use those terms.
Oh my goodness. Well, everything we say then, I guess, could be considered that way. But I do think I like to look at it the optimistic way, because you could look at things half empty or half full. And I would like to look at it half full. So for me, I do think from your first statement that every minute people are coming up with new ideas.
Sure.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. You bring up an interesting point, though, on do we ever get to the point, particularly with artificial intelligence coming now, of having like everything patented that you can't, that if you say a certain word, there's some, if you think about the connectivity part of it, where when we eventually all have a chip implanted by Elon Musk in our head, and that chip is tied into Apple Pay, it's no longer on our phone, it's implanted in our head. Right?
Goodness.
So we're at Starbucks. We don't even have to put our phone out on the thing anymore. They do an iris scan and it connects to the chip in our head that has all of this stored. That if you say a word that is copyrighted, it just automatically takes it off of your Apple Pay that's on the
my
chip
goodness.
implanted in your head. You don't even know that you're paying a royalty on it or have a thought process, or even beyond that. You don't have to even verbalize it. You think of something that's copyrighted, and the Apple Pay on the chip in your head immediately takes
I
it
think
out.
you just created a new movie in this minute.
Wait, no, I need to patent this idea because this is something that because who's going to, it could be
Don't
like,
take it out there.
it could be like
Mhm.
literally a tenth of 1 cent, but there's 8 billion people on the planet. So if you are multiplying just the number of times people say the word like Scott,
You probably hear that word more often than I
I hear
do.
that a lot, and there aren't as many Scots because Scott is one of the only names in the entire planet that doesn't translate into other languages.
Really?
There's no Scott in Russian. There's no Scott in
Really?
Indian. There's no Scott in Spanish.
Huh.
There's Scots in Scotland and England and English-speaking countries. There are no Scots anywhere else. I defy you to
Wow.
find me a Scot in Finland.
Makes sense.
There are no Scots there.
So interesting. I wonder why.
There are no Scots.
By
not-
Scott.
Not there. There are Johns.
Mhm.
John.
There's Toms. There's Steves. There's Williams.
Hmm.
There's Christians.
I just love how you've made now the conversation about you and how special you are.
We've been doing this for 11 weeks now, and I think those of you at home already know it's always about me.
Oh, he's a Leo. It's a Leo. It's a
But
Leo
You
thing.
guys are happy.
It's great.
I'm happy to have you along.
Yeah.
We're here for the ride.
Thank you.
Thanks. It's fun. It's been a real joy, actually.
Yeah,
I look
we
forward to
appreciate
these- I look
it.
forward
It's
to
a
these Wednesdays.
highlight in the week.
But it did. I mean, she said it somehow when you said words and stuff like that. That's where my brain went since we're talking about copyrights and stuff. I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, well, at some point somebody's going to try to copyright. People already copyright phrases. Like you can't say a phrase.
Like what? What's an example of a copyright?
Well, I think they've like not those because I remember how I think it was Katy Perry tried to copyright like a musical kind of
Phrase.
motif
Yeah.
or a phrase, and the courts were like, you can't do that because it's too broad of a spectrum. to-
Too broad of a spectrum in the application of everybody using it in everyday conversation, or too broad of a spectrum in terms
in the creative side, like you can't just say I own the A to B to D sharp scale, and nobody else can use that now because I own those notes.
Yeah.
in that format.
Yeah.
But they do copyrights on that format. If you think about sampling and stuff with like Blurred Lines is a good example of that. Not a lot. And Marvin Gaye and Sony Music sued Robin Thicke, and Blurred Lines and Farrell and all those guys, and they won. And that's a very short little snippet. It's like, yee, whatever that is. on
That
Blurred
was
Lines.
pretty good.
And Sony Music, they won. that's a copyright of that progression of notes of that chord.
Well, I mean, that was his voice, Marvin Gaye's voice, though, wasn't it?
No,
Or
it wasn't.
it's just the tune of yeah.
It was. I don't. It was not. They didn't sample it from that. They did. They actually didn't sample it from that. It was just. It sounded like that. I'm pretty sure.
Well,
Could be wrong.
I think.
Again, we're not attorneys. You make your.
Remember, seek,
I
seek
think
professional.
the lawsuit between the Blurred Lines and the Marvin Gaye was that Marvin Gaye had the song, like it was his song.
No, it was a completely different song.
No, I think he wrote the song.
No, he didn't. He had nothing to do with the song. There was part of the song sounded like a Marvin Gaye song, and that's what they sued him about.
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. You can't arrest me for not knowing things.
I'm not arrested. I'm not doing that.
I don't know.
Well, luckily our law is always bending and wavering, and there's challenges. There's always challenges.
Mhm.
Wish not to take over the conversation again, but that's why I always like, who wrote these laws and why do I have to follow them?
That's a whole other podcast.
Because they're all bending
that's
in the
another
right.
I feel like
conversation.
that's
Right?
a great podcast.
Yeah,
topic,
because
actually.
I didn't write these laws. Why am I have to follow them?
Well,
that's really deep.
Yeah, as Thomas Hobbes said, I think you enter a social construct or your contract
Track.
to you accept that you have to be governed and by society laws in order to not be a homeless man in the woods on 28 living in a beer can and
Wow.
eating dead rats.
But if it's my
Jeez.
world,
Scott's world.
yeah, thank you. Like you live in a house provided by your mother's house. We both live there.
Mhm. Yeah, be very careful
right,
what
yeah.
you say
I'll just-
now.
Next conversation, patents and what were we talking about?
Copyrights and trademarks. So I don't know. I do think that there is always ethical concerns by these laws. And as you were, I think saying, Christian, I don't want to.
Oh, put words in his mouth, please.
Yeah,
Go right
like
ahead.
literally
Do it,
put
do it.
words in your
Mhm,
mouth.
Put them in there.
Concept we're trying to talk about, but the fear of trying to monopolize concepts so to the extent where it prevents other people from being creative is a concern, and that's what sounds like why you wanted to bring this to the table. Am I
Yeah.
correct?
Exactly.
Okay,
Yes.
good.
He-
So
He's worried about
let's kinda go
stifling
back.
creativity.
And so can we
Mhm.
go back to that for a minute, because I think that's a really good
Mhm.
thing to discuss, and I agree with you. There is a point of absurdity
Mhm.
where you can over
Where my Apple Pay chip is
le-
charging a penny for every time
yeah,
you
we live in
say.
a dystopian world, and
Mm.
like Wall-E, like we talked about, where all people do is just float around in a big egg
Wall-E.
and drink milkshakes and get for
Eva.
400 pounds. But we
Mhm.
don't want to live in a dystopian world, so we have to have freedom, and freedom is a big thing on the table right now. So laws should be reflective of our ethics and our morals. But when it gets to the point where it's abused
What if
for
the
financial profit, we have a problem.
What if people have different ethics and morals?
No,
They always do.
yeah.
So, the age-old thing, one man's freedom fighter is another man's terrorist.
Who said that?
I don't know, people.
Scott.
I didn't say that.
Scott.
And
Scott has
you know what?
just copyrighted that.
And the little chip, we'll make it a physical thing. So you just do a little twitch every time it charges.
Why you're so obsessed with this chip thing? Like you even talked to me privately. It's like I want to be uploaded to the cloud. I don't want to die. I want to live forever.
I am not being. I have never ever said
No.
I am being uploaded to the cloud.
You
Not once have I ever said I am being uploaded to the cloud.
Literally,
Never.
literally. You said like I think 2 weeks ago. You were like, I don't want to die. Make sure before I die, you upload me to some robot or cloud.
The word cloud has never been used. A different vessel, yes.
Oh. Kind of like Superman when he comes here and his parents are on that ice with those kryptonite, the crystals. They stick them in, and then they're there, and he can learn from them. But did you see the newest
I
Superman?
haven't seen the
I
newest
did.
one.
You did.
Yeah.
So, are we supposed to think like all of that story was distorted and they were actually not the good guys?
Oh wait, they made
Well, okay, so
Jarell is not good?
spoilers.
Oh, spoilers! Sorry.
So
If you haven't watched it, you might want to close your ears.
the message, Superman's like he comes to Earth from
It's
Krypton.
truth, justice, and the American way.
Yeah. He
Up yours, Russia.
the there's a message from Jor-El and what's his mom's name?
I don't know his mom's name.
But there's a message from Superman's parents.
Krypton is a very patriarchal planet.
There's
or
a
it was.
message from his parents, saying like, okay, you're going to this new world. You have to, be the harbinger of good. And there's like, in this new version James Gunn made, the message halfway was like trumbled, like blah, 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 jumbled. So Superman did not hear the rest of the message.
Oh, as he's traveling to Earth.
Yeah. As he's traveling to Earth, and he keeps it on Earth in his like base of the Fortress of Solitude. He listens to it every day.
Okay.
But he never hears the rest of the message. He only hears the first half where they're saying like, be good and be kind and whatever.
Okay.
Lex Luthor
Translates
the rest of the message, and the rest of the message is like, you have to make a new Krypton, and you are here to repopulate this new Earth to make a new Krypton.
He's a Decepticon.
Essentially, yeah.
Wow. Superman's a Decepticon.
And he had like a whole identity crisis.
Yeah, a whole thing of like, oh my god,
Who was not Optimus Prime? Who was the other one in the
Megatron?
No, the other one.
Sentinel.
No, was it? It was the one that Leonard Nimoy did the voice
Sentinel
for.
Prime.
Yeah, Sentinel Prime.
But were the new people supposed to be good? No.
That's what he's saying. He's
Yeah.
saying no.
But- yeah, but-
He's
But don't you think Lex Luthor?
he's terraforming. He's supposed.
Yeah,
Well,
but
Lex
Jor-El
Luthor.
sent him to take over.
I don't think it was true. What was the outcome? Was it true or not?
No, it was true.
And what about? I think Lex Luthor made that up.
No, they translated it.
How would he know how to
He didn't
translate
interfere.
Krypton?
He got somebody who like
They have
because they spoke in
people.
English. I guess I
They
don't
have
know.
people.
People. But did he interfere? Like, I feel like I want to just believe that Jor-El was good.
I mean,
Was that his name? Jor-El?
I don't know. I mean, I think it was more of a.
Isn't Lex Luthor Mark Zuckerberg?
No, you're thinking of the Zack Snyder one from years ago. This is was Nick Nolte or something like that.
Oh, it's Ivan the Terrible or
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But anyway.
See, it is the Russians.
Yeah, but Jor-El, I think in this new version was a little morally gray, I guess.
So that's creating something new because that's
Yeah, I mean,
that's a new concept. Like all my life, I always thought that Jor-El was good, and he sent Superman, and now they've distorted that reality for me. But I still am gonna stick to the old Superman because I
Mhm.
want to believe that. So
The
I don't.
Christopher Reeve Superman?
Yes, the new Superman is not going to do it for me because of that reason.
Well, he's still good in New Superman.
He is.
Because he's like, oh, well, I'm not.
I'm not
It's
that.
just a
I'm not
major shift
that.
in origin story.
Yeah, it's just
And
a
that rattles
retelling of the story.
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like
But
it.
in some senses, it's injecting possibilities for a new storyline that is more complex and keeps the character
Yeah.
alive and going forward.
It's all about the sequels.
I'm all
Sequels.
about, I don't know, but all I can tell you is it keeps it open. We don't really know, so I understand. But that's creating something new.
Oh,
right?
yeah, I
It's a
mean
new
Disney did
idea.
that in the 50s and the 40s with their retelling of like Snow
All
White.
In
the
prequels,
all the
Yeah.
Brothers
How about
Grimm.
they
Wicked?
have their place.
How about
I think
Wicked? The Wicked
that's what
Witch
I'm
being,
thinking.
is she the good
It
one or
is
the bad
that.
one?
Yeah.
I mean, it just makes you think, and it goes back to the dichotomous, in the very least, nature of good and evil and how we perceive it and what keeps us safe.
Yeah.
What are laws for? What preserves us?
I have an easier time with looking for the good in people than I do looking for the bad in people. So the concept of the witch having been good and messed with, and then like let's hear her story was easier for me than to hear that Jor-El
I have a
was
thing
maybe
about green
bad.
people.
About what?
I have people that are green. Yeah, just a thing.
So would you have been mean to her?
She's green.
Aw,
Sorry.
Wow.
That is so cool.
sad.
How horrible. There are green
That's
children.
about to come out, like, right? The next one? I saw. Did
That
anybody
part
That
two.
they're green people.
No, the part 2 of it.
The part 2. Did everyone see the first?
Oh, there's a
of
part
The
2?
Wicked?
Everything's a part 1 and 2 now. It's
Everything.
horrible.
Yeah.
I didn't see it, but I've
I
heard.
thought
I didn't see it, but where does it end in the? Obviously, this has nothing to do with Dorothy.
No,
Oh, it does. It has everything to do with Dorothy. I read the book. Read the book.
Dorothy's in Wicked.
Well, she's
She's in Wizard of Oz,
She's ref-
obviously.
she's referred often. I mean, it is part of this.
How can she
interweaving
be
of the
referred
story.
if it takes place
Well, you will
before?
have to read it. So
And how can
That's
it?
our area.
And how can it
Our
be?
bailiwick.
How can
our
it be? How can it
wheelhouse.
refer anyway? Since it was just a
okay,
a
because it's something.
F5 tornado induced hallucination to begin with.
Oh, well, as always, this is something new. They made something new. This is a brand new concept. We had the old Wizard of Oz. First, we had the book by Baum, right?
Yeah.
Then they created their own movie version, which we all had to wait all year to watch. There was no
Monkeys, flying monkeys.
demand on.
Back in the
you can
olden
see whatever
days,
you wanna
Christian.
watch whenever you want, but we waited to see the Wizard of Oz. When I saw that commercial, the Wizard of Oz, it was like in 2 weeks on Sunday, 8 o'clock. It's the Wizard of Oz.
We knew what the nation was doing.
Yeah. It was so
Watching those
exciting. And
flying
that
monkeys.
big bubble game with the Wicked Witch of the North. And
You and your little dog too.
was everything. But this new concept with Wicked obviously is a play on this whole Wizard of Oz version. It's a whole new concept that perhaps maybe the witch was actually the nice one. That is a new concept, completely new.
Well, I mean, yeah, if you look at it even from the movie perspective, Dorothy she kills the Witch of the East.
Yes, she does.
So
And the West.
Yeah.
She kills them both.
At the end, yeah.
Well, she kills the East one first.
Yeah,
And then the West comes in and is like, "Oh my
house.
God, you've killed my friend. You're a
Yes, my
horrible
sister.
person."
Yeah.
Her sister. And took her shoes.
You've robbed and killed my sister.
Imagine.
Plus, in the grand scheme of things, doesn't Ariana Grande
I
plays what's her name?
She does. She's
Glenda,
yes,
right?
she does. She plays Glinda.
Yeah, she's an annoying person anyway, so that's a good reason to hate Glenda. So, right?
I thought it was a good movie.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
I refused. That was my principle. I just couldn't
Stick
do
with
it.
the flying monkeys.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just a classicist at the end. of the
Tradition.
day. I'm just going back to the old. Yeah. I heard the feedback. I
Mm-hmm.
knew it wasn't my vibe.
Yeah, I mean, it was the same as like the Taylor Swift movie.
What does she do?
She made like her whole well, first off, are there any Swifties here?
Don't you go messing with my Tay-Tay.
Oh no.
Is that trademarked?
Tay-Tay?
Maybe, I think maybe. No, Swifties are insane. Even
I
if
must point out the
I
boat
might
we
be
were
saying
on
this.
last week was named Sailor Swift.
Really?
That was the name of the boat.
Cute.
Yeah.
But
That's
no, I mean,
cute.
she made was like a couple of years ago. Her concert. She made a movie about it, and then like
The Eras tour?
the Heiress tour movie.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was like watching Bohemian Grove. Like
Watching what?
Bohemian Grove. Are you not familiar with
What is
Bohemian?
that?
I don't know.
Okay,
These
that's
young
a
kids-
whole other podcast.
Do you know what that is?
I'm not going to say if I know what it is or not, but we'll talk about it another time.
Okay.
It's like a cult almost with
Oh,
Taylor
my
Swift.
goodness.
Yeah, but it's $1 billion worldwide cult. Big cult.
Yeah.
Is it still a cult if it's that big?
Okay.
That will
Is-
be another podcast.
Is
We're
the
making
Catholic
so
Church
many
is the
good.
Catholic Church a cult?
That's another.
We're going to
podcast.
keep our podcast going for the next 2 years.
Yeah, we'll
There's
just keep-
plenty of content.
We should have a podcast talking about other podcast ideas.
I'd,
We
Podcast
should.
within a podcast.
I'd like to say that everything we say on the podcast is trademarked by both Esspa and Green Heiress. So
Everywhere,
if you all
including Scott.
all contents of this broadcast are protected by their respective owners. Unlicensed repetition or use of anything that is in these podcasts is prohibited unless you pay us.
Oh my goodness. I don't agree with that. Okay.
They can use it for free?
Not the podcast, but certainly the words. Listen, if you did it that way, you would literally not be able to talk. If you had a world, yeah, if you had a world where everything was copyrighted, trademark, you have to walk like
That's what we're talking
That's
about.
where I'm
It's
going
the-
with the
it's-
chip in your head that's going to
It's the
charge
limit-
you.
It's the limiting
for that.
of the human
Yeah.
capacity, and I believe not only our inherent right, I'll say that, but just our design is to create. And so when
Yes.
we create stipulations, laws, and structures that are designed from a place that isn't oriented, I'm going to say, as purely as the creation itself, and it's leveraging whatever power there is, then you know what? We have to put that conversation on the table and really look at it and check in with it again and again. Because what initially is designed to protect us. You were saying it's alive and it is always changing.
And to encourage
we are
people
refining.
to come
We
up with
must
new things.
continue to refine our ideas around what is lawful
Yeah.
and what isn't, what's acceptable and what isn't, and what should be litigated or open to that. That's my bottom line.
Yes, but there's so much that's overly litigated.
I really want to pick up one of those classic handheld games that operates on
I got him-
17
one.
double A batteries that last for 26
Yeah.
hours.
That are not
Okay.
alkaline
We can
batteries.
keep it in our
The old, just
lobby.
heavy duty batteries.
Heavy
Yeah.
duty.
Right.
Should we keep it in our lobby at Esspa and Green Heiress?
Yeah.
Yes.
I got him one of the little football old games.
Did you like it?
No.
Of course not.
I
How
understand.
could you?
Yeah,
It's
I
one color
understand.
and does it.
It would be like a hoop and a stick for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going back a little too far.
I mean, it wasn't even a screen. It was just a plastic. The only color was the little red dot and would move.
The only
Correct.
color, see, yeah.
Yes.
We were excited by the fact there
It
was
moved.
a color.
And it moved. You could make it move.
The world before 2005 was black and white. Oh my God.
2005.
Ooh, just like the Wizard of Oz.
Ooh, just like it.
Now that we've come full circle, is this a
Mhm.
good time to tie it off until next
Sure.
week?
Yeah, so what are
Yes,
we
yeah.
going to talk about next week, Scott?
I don't know.
Well, we had a lot.
I don't even know what I'm going to talk about when I'm here talking about it.
That's true.
How about we invite recommendations and ideas from our audience?
Yes.
We'd love to
Yeah.
hear
Yes, we'd
from
love
you.
to hear.
Tell us what to talk about. Otherwise, you're just going to be stuck with me coming up things off the top of my head. So how about that? You want to deal with that? I can accommodate you. Otherwise, send us an idea and we'll talk about that.
And if anybody's admiring my skin, it's because I just had a facial
With Ava.
with Ava at Esspa.
Oh, how It looks
Well,
like a
turn
true
ba-
glow up.
I need to mention
she
that.
glowed up. Ava glowed her up.
True glow up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True glow
that
up.
I'm glowing up.
But that, you
So
know,
please
that's,
visit Esspa,
that's true in terms
Brilliant,
of Ava, 'cause Ava spends
Aspinwall, and online.
time with both physically working on your face, but also part of the whole concept of Esspa is to build you up emotionally, mentally. It's not just a physical
It's way more.
thing.
It's way more than that.
Yes.
It is.
It's
It's transportive.
Yes. And that's why we're collaborating together and going on the retreat together to help everybody
what
there.
retreat is that, Erica?
It's our retreat this February,
Palm Springs.
February 12th to the 16th, or you can have a shorter experience if you'd like. But we are going to have lots of fun with this group, and hopefully you will want to join us as well. So please call us
GH Retreats.
and look
Because
at
we can't spell
GH
Heiress.
Retreats.
How do you spell Heiress?
We'll get to that next
We'll
week,
do
so
a
stay
spelling bee
tuned.
next week.
Everyone will be on the edge
but
of their
look
seat.
for us online, and we'd love to invite your questions and hopefully your presence.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. See you later. Thanks for
Bye-bye.
Christian for showing up.
Thank
you,
Christian.
Christian.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure.
All right.
Come
was
back,
fun.
please.
Toodaloo.